everybody. Karyn Bryant here talking with Biggie Boy Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who is taking on Jailton Almeida in the main event at UFC Charlotte. And listen, Biggie, it's great to see you, first and foremost. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm good. I'm healthy. Yeah, and that's the most
Good.
important part.
Exactly. So it's great to hear all that, but I'm curious what you thought when this got moved to a main event, because initially you weren't the main event and then you turned into that. So what happened there?
Actually, it's pretty easy. I just got a phone call from the management say, "Hey, Biggie, you're finding the main event," and I say, "Yeah, it's cool with me. Let's go."
That's it. That's it. There was no explanation. They just figured,
No,
hey,
I didn't even ask.
right, because it doesn't even matter, right? But so did it make a difference for you changing the amount of rounds? Because obviously that's the one thing, and you guys did have a little bit more time, but that's the one thing you hear about is, you know, when people aren't prepared for those extra 2 rounds.
I mean, it doesn't change anything. Instead of sparring 4 rounds, we spar
Hmm.
6 rounds.
Yeah.
So in preparation, you know how to bring your energy, how to
Hmm.
split the rounds. But other than that, it's still the same. You want to win, and you got to keep going forward and finding the openings.
Nice. So the last time you fought, you knocked out Chris Dawkins, and that was in December. Before that, you had a couple of fights that didn't go your way. So now that it's behind you, and now that you got that win with Chris, how much pressure were you feeling going into that fight?
I will not say pressure, but it was like I needed to, I need this one, and nothing else matter.
Yeah.
If it's by point, if it was a knockout, I just want to get my hands raised. And after the fight, it was also like, finally. I didn't even think about how it went. I just wanted to win, and when that happened, when I got the win, when I got the W, and I was like, okay, my mind's red, it's clear. Let me relax.
Good.
And
I would imagine. No, go ahead.
exactly,
Sorry.
exactly what I did is like I went back to the hotel in my room, take a long shower, and lay down on the bed and breathe out. Yeah,
Yes, and just exhale. And that's the thing, because there can be people who lose a lot of fights in a row and keep their job if they're exciting, but that has to kind of really be a drag to hear that voice in your head wondering as you're trying to do your job.
I don't have that feeling. I know when I'm in my right mind, when I'm healthy,
Hmm.
and I enter the octagon, I'll do something special. So I never had that. I never hesitated. Like, yeah, what's gonna happen after this? No,
Hmm.
it's always people's gonna tell you like, hey, you have to win this one because But I try not focus on what people are thinking, what people are saying. Focusing on training, getting better, being a better person. Because being a fighter changed my life.
Hmm.
Being a fighter, a bigger fighter, changed me as a person, changed my mentality, give me more discipline. So other than that, you want to create a legacy, but you also want to be a normal human being, like during the day, like a normal day. You want to have a normal
Yeah.
day sometimes. So it changed my life in a lot of ways, and I'm not listening what people are saying, especially negativity or bad things. No, it's all positive vibe and going forward, and keep yourself happy.
I love to hear that. And I feel like, too, it's different for somebody like you. I feel like no matter what's going on with our little MMA world and our little MMA bubble, like you have a whole country behind you. Like I
That's
have a feeling that that has to make you always feel supported, right?
I definitely feel let me feel supported. I feel good when my people support me, stand behind me, and then give me more power and motivation to go forward into the fight and make sure I win that fight.
Nice.
And
I love it. And
even
I
bad guys
love
with me. So
yeah, and when you see the pictures, like when you go home to Suriname and you like those pictures are always amazing. It looks like such a beautiful place.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing.
I love that. Okay, so with the fight, I just want to kind of pick up on one last thing that you said too about the fights that you don't win. When you said you go into the octagon in your right mind, body, spirit, and all that, does that mean there have been some fights you took where now you recognize everything wasn't right, or maybe you even knew it during the camp, but you kind of had to go through the fight anyway?
Yeah, like some other fights, at least two fights, I had like one, I had a fractured foot, and it happened last week. It doesn't look that bad till like fight week, and then I was like, I'm not gonna step back. One of my coaches say, Biggie, don't do the fight. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to do the fight. So, but I'll never regret my decisions. It's on me, and I'm looking forward. Things are going great. I feel good. I'm healthy, as I said, and then yeah, the only thing that can happen right now is me winning this Saturday, and then yeah.
Nice. Well, I know it's an important fight for you because, every fight matters, obviously. I believe you're currently ranked number 9 or so. So, Jailton is a guy that I feel like, is it, you got to tell him it's not your time yet. How do you think of this fight in terms of what it's going to do for you and your plans for the division?
The future, the fighting future is this fight. So, Jailton gotta wait. Yeah, he got a couple of wins. He gotta wait. He can't go through me. That's the only thing that matters right now. Going in there, put down my best performance. Work with this guy. We all know what he's gonna do. He wanna do what everybody wanna do, like what everybody does. Try to take Biggie down, hold him down. Don't even try anything. Just hold him down, and that's what happened. Unfortunately, I work on that, and yeah, I refuse to go down. So we be in there and shock everybody.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing where people can look at past tape and figure out maybe how they could have beaten you before, but they have to assume that you're evolving too.
Definitely, it's easy. Like people say, yeah, this guy's gonna take Biggie down. He's gonna out wrestle him. You can take me down every day, any minute, but that's not the end of the fight.
Yeah.
So that's how I think. Like it's a fight, and as I said, I refuse to go that way. So
Nice.
it's gonna be a tough battle, and I know, as I said, me as a healthy person, it's a whole different thing.
So who have you been training with mostly then? Do you keep the same squad? I mean, you've been around for a little while now. Have you, because people like to look around and kind of try this, a little of that. What have you been doing mostly for your training this time?
I have the same squad. I keep the same squad at American Top Team, solid squad, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of heavyweights, and yeah, that for me it's pretty easy. I have to get the job done, you
Yeah.
know, and I make the necessary changes to win.
Well, you said too that being a fighter and the more popular you got, sort of the bigger you got, the more discipline you had too. I mean, it's an interesting thing, and I feel like maybe I don't want to generalize, but I feel like with heavyweights in the past, maybe there were some guys that were like big and tough, and they come in here and they can win a couple fights, and then they get to a point where they can't just go on natural whatever anymore, right? You have to like really knuckle down because the competition is so much harder.
You always
Um,
got to be knuckle down. If you come,
right. So yeah, like what have you learned? What is the kind of have there been certain specific lessons that you learned only and you could only learn it once you got to the UFC?
yes, I was a kickboxer,
Mm-hmm.
and then for a striker, we had this conversation actually, I think 2 days ago at the gym. I walked into the gym, and King Mo asked me like, "Big, is it hard for a striker to get interested in wrestling?" I'm like, "Hell yeah," because you're not used to fall down, get back up, people dragging you down, get back up. It's a different blood pressure. So those things I learned along the way more since I got to the UFC. I
Yeah.
was trying it, but now it's like I have to make it naturally.
Right.
Being in the gym, being comfortable in a situation, going to squeeze you out, and you be there. You're not tapping. You're working it out. You get yourself out of the situation. So those things are not things that I used to worry
Mhm.
about in the past. So now I'm not saying now, like along the way, now it's for almost 5 years in the UFC. It, it's a way that I've been working for a while now on it. And yeah, being
Nice. Yeah, it needs to get to the point where you don't think about it, right? Where it just becomes part of your arsenal and you're not thinking about it so much.
being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Exactly. King Mo will get you there.
Yeah,
That's a good guy to train with to get you there for sure.
yeah.
So, and also moving forward too for you, some of these fights are rematches, right? At the top of the division since you've been here for a little bit. So, have you thought about who you would like next if you get past Jelton? When you get past Jelton?
Like when I passed Jelton, I think two other guys that I didn't fight. That's I think Tom Aspinall and Tai Tufasa. I think that's the only two guys I didn't fight.
Hmm.
And also interesting fights, especially Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
He's a he, he's a tough guy.
Yeah, he
He
is.
beat a lot of guys and good guys. So I'm looking forward fighting one of those two guys. The thing is, why I don't like to call names when
Yeah.
I fight is I don't want to call a guy out and then the guy got injured, so I gotta wait when he's ready to fight again. So you're slowing me down. I don't want to focus on other people. I'm focused on myself. So if there's a fighter there that's open to fight, I'll take it,
Right.
and especially if he's rank above me.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because on the one hand, like we like when you have a name in mind, but you're right. If you specifically call somebody out, and then the matchmakers think, "Hey, that's kind of good," and then they make you wait if something bad happens, yeah, that
Or
could.
somebody got injured because
Yeah.
you gotta think is this: as a fighter, you train every day for 3 4 months. You can something can happen. It's
Yeah.
normal. But then for me, it's always like I don't want to wait. Doesn't matter what happened. Just let me do my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, because that's the thing. The activity level. Do you fight as frequently as you like? Would you like to fight more times a year?
I feel safe fighting 3 times a year.
Yeah.
It's more like it. 4 times will be too much.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think I learned my lesson about that too. Like being too active, yeah, your body don't rest. You're breaking your body, and then yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's safe to fight 3 times a year. Yeah.
That's smart. So, what do you think too now that John Jones is back? I mean, just first and foremost, what do you think of John Jones as heavyweight?
Things go pretty easy. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see the fight against Jones and Miocic. If that fight's happening,
Yeah.
and yeah, the first fight was easy. Not easy, but the guy has his skills. He does what he does, and it was pretty quick.
Hmm. Was
So
that frustrating for you? Because you fought Cyril yourself.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, it wasn't frustrating, but it didn't look convincing like he's gonna go in there and to win from John Jones.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, that makes sense. But I am curious too. If he's going to stick around or not. The Stipe fight would be great.
I definitely think he's gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope so too. I hope so too. So, also, before we get out of here, I am curious too. Like, with Francis gone, a lot of people think about like, oh, should he come back? Should he have gone somewhere else? And this and that. Did you? I know you guys fought too. Like, what do you think of that when people go away like that? Like, do you stress too much about, um, you know, like what to? How can I even phrase this? I'm just trying to kind of find the best way to ask this question. It's like, do you think he should have left or do you think he should have stayed?
I think he should have stayed.
Yeah.
I think he should have stayed. Uh, I think if I was in his position, I stayed.
Yeah.
I'll be. I think I'll be top more with the UFC. Find a way between us both.
Yeah.
But I think he should have stayed. I don't know what happened between those two organizations or with those two guys,
Right.
but I think he should have stayed.
Yeah. It's a tough situation. It's a tough
It is. That's
situation.
why I say I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But if I was in the situation, I know 75% I'll stay because it's the best organization you're fighting of combat sport right now.
Hmm.
So everything you want to do after,
Yeah.
it's extra. So now you're out for what, a year, more than a year you didn't fight, and then sit and wait to what other people are saying.
Yeah.
Don't know how to I can't find the word, but I I think you should stay. I can You cannot be stop being active
Mm-hmm.
to be non-active, non-active, non-active. You know, you got to be moving. You're the champ.
Yeah.
You work hard to get there, and then you gotta move. If you don't move, you wait. People, yeah, you know, you can't get beat by a game plan.
Right, right. Yeah, but it's interesting too, because there are options outside of it. I mean, would you ever see yourself just going into, only boxing or going into bare knuckle boxing or anything like that? Because there are kind of other options now.
All those things is after the UFC.
Yeah. After.
But for now, I'm fighting for the UFC. It's the best organization. Um, Even if I say, okay, you know what, I got bored. Um, what I want to do now? I'm gonna go to boxing.
Yeah.
I didn't box for a couple of years. I don't know boxing that well.
Hmm.
Who say I'm gonna beat Tyson Fury? What if I fight Tyson Fury and I lose that fight? So people's gonna start doubting me,
Yeah.
and it's gonna mess with my money. So you don't want that. You wanna keep everything safe because the fighting years doesn't last long. How longer you sit on the side, how faster the year passes, and then yeah, you gotta stay healthy, and you gotta if you don't train, you don't move.
Yeah.
You know how things go, and you gotta keep the competitive mind moving, like going to the octagon or going to a boxing ring, have a fight here and there. You gotta be moving. If not, it's going. And the years are passing, so you're losing it a little bit. But that's how I think. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm just thinking loud.
I think there's a lot to that. And yes, I think you're right. You gotta keep moving forward. You gotta stay active. But again, there's so much nuance with that it is tough. But here's my cuckoo clock. But yeah, I don't like when I see my friends and people that I care about going to bare knuckle boxing because it just
Okay.
seems so brutal. And like I don't want to see it, and I want to see people make money, and I want to see people get paid, but I don't want to see them get busted up like that. It's hard to
I
watch.
I think that's something I think I like to do. Bare knuckle is that's it.
Yeah.
That's the real deal. Like that's the real deal. Yeah.
So you like it though?
Yeah. I always say like, yeah, I definitely do it if it was me. If I was in the position and say, hey, you want to do bare knuckle fight? Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know for future plans. They may want to. They may want to look into that. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, listen, Biggie, it's exciting for you to have the main event on Saturday. Like, do you already have? Obviously, you're walking, but like, are you doing anything special? I mean, this is going to be on ABC. I would imagine back home in Suriname, everybody can see this one as well, right? So, this is a big deal. Like, what does it? Well, okay. I don't want to make it too much of a big deal, but at the same time, it is a big deal. Like, do you? Do
It
you
is a
want to
big
think of it
deal.
as a bigger fight, or do you kind of just go, "Oh, it's a regular fight. It's not a big deal."
It is a big deal. It is a
Yeah.
bigger picture. That's how I see this fight. Making a statement on this Saturday means a lot for my career, and that's the only thing I'm thinking right now. Keep my head straight,
Hmm.
do my movements. This Saturday, go into octagon, be patient, win this fight, and then we go from there.
Nice, awesome. Well, I always love catching up with you, and so how do you think? Do you go home to Suriname like after a fight? Is that what you
All the
usually do?
time,
You kind of go take a break?
all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
back home, see my family, see my friend.
Nice. I love it. I love it. At some point, I'm gonna have to ask you like those gorgeous. Oh, you know what? I should have been wearing my Biggie shirt. It's in the. I just realized. I was like, dang it! Oh, those
Yeah,
beautiful. I'm like thinking the beautiful fabrics and everything. Like, dang, I should have been wearing this shirt. Oh, that's on me. I'll have to. I'll have to wear it. But yeah, listen. You're always fun to watch, and coming off that knockout of Chris Dawkins, you got a performance award for that one. So. I feel like the momentum, the Biggie momentum is here, right? And you're feeling good. You're nice and healthy. You're gonna go out there and show out, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
Good.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, and yeah, best of luck, and we will see you on ABC.
Thank you. Yes.
See, this
Uh,
was so much better. Thank you. I'm so glad we were able to make this work.
Well, I think I just hotspot my laptop and then
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's weird. Like outside, it's funky. It's like, yeah, I don't know, but I appreciate you making the time, and I'm gonna get this up this afternoon too.
definitely. Let me know.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Bye
See
bye.
you later. Bye.
Quick question. You
Yeah.
there? Uh,
Yeah.
you heard about that
Yeah.
fight from Angela Hill?
Did I hear about what?
The fight of Angela.
Yes, she's the main event now.
No, it's canceled.
Wait, with Mackenzie?
Angela Hill.
Wait.
Angela.
Yeah, Angela and Mackenzie were supposed to be on your card. Then they moved them to be the main event next week
Oh, they
because
moved them. I thought the fight
yeah,
was.
so yeah, because I was like, oh no, don't tell me it just got canceled. So they
Oh,
moved it
okay. Oh, I
because
misunderstood because I was in the office. I was doing my check-in, and then they
yeah,
said
no,
there
I
was
don't think it got
they say
yeah, I
they
don't think it got
we lose.
canceled.
The way they said it is we lose this fight,
Right,
the Angela Hill fight. So I was like, how?
right.
So I didn't pay attention, but I know you guys are friends, so that's why I asked.
Yeah. So next week, because Rocky Pennington was supposed to fight Irene Aldana in the main event, but
Yeah.
then Aldana got moved to the title fight because Juliana got hurt. So Aldana's going to fight Mandy now. And so Rocky didn't have a fight. So they just moved, Angie and Mackenzie
That's
a
good
week. I know it's great for her because that's the same thing that happened like with Song Yadong. He was supposed to be a co-main event. The thing got canceled. They got made a main event. So yeah, thankfully, because you just scared me. I was like, oh no, like
I didn't need to do that.
yeah. No, yeah. So next week. So you'll be able to just watch it all because you'll just be relaxing with that victory glow, and you'll just be like kicking back watching Angie.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see you soon. Yeah. Thanks so much, and go in there and do your thing.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.